Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fluent English podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Emma. Hey, Alex, how's your day going?
Pretty good, thanks. I just had my morning coffee, so I'm ready to chat. How about you?
Same here. Actually, I'm really excited about today's topic because I think it's going to help so many of our listeners.
Oh, yeah? What are we talking about today?
Well, we got this message from a listener named Maria, and she said something that I hear all the time. She wrote, I can understand everything when I watch English movies or listen to podcasts, but when someone asks me a question in English, my mind goes blank. I just can't speak.
Ah, yes, the classic problem. You know what, Emma? I think this is probably the most common challenge for English learners. They have this huge gap between their listening skills and their speaking skills.
Exactly. And I totally understand it because I experienced the same thing when I was learning Spanish. I could watch Spanish TV shows, I could read newspapers, but when I tried to order food at a restaurant in Madrid, nothing. My mouth just wouldn't cooperate with my brain.
That must have been frustrating.
It really was. But you know what? I learned some techniques that really helped me, and I think they'll help our listeners too.
Perfect. So today, we're going to share 10 powerful tips to help you unlock your English voice. Are you ready, Emma?
Let's do it.
Okay, so tip number 1, and this is really important, Emma. We need to talk about why this happens in the first place.
Right. The listening-speaking gap.
Exactly. So here's the thing. Listening is a passive skill, but speaking is an active skill. When you listen, you just need to recognize words and understand them. But when you speak, you have to actively recall those words, put them in the correct order, think about grammar, pronunciation. It's a lot more work for your brain.
That's such a good point. It's like the difference between recognizing someone's face and drawing that face from memory. Recognizing is much easier than creating, right?
Perfect example. And here's what I want our listeners to know. This gap is completely normal. Every single language learner goes through this. So if you're experiencing this right now, don't feel bad about yourself. You're not alone.
Absolutely. It's not a sign that you're bad at English. It's just a natural stage in the learning process.
So that brings us to tip number 2. Stop translating in your head.
Oh, this is a big one.
It really is. So many learners, when they want to say something in English, they first think of the sentence in their native language, and then they try to translate it word by word into English.
And that process is so slow. By the time you finished translating in your head, the conversation has already moved on.
Exactly. Plus, it doesn't really work because every language has different structures. Some things that sound natural in your language might sound strange in English.
So what should people do instead?
Try to think directly in English. I know that sounds difficult, but it gets easier with practice. Start small. When you see a dog on the street, think, that's a cute dog, in English, not in your language first.
Right. And you can narrate your daily activities in English in your head, like I'm making coffee or I need to call my friend. Simple stuff.
Perfect. Which actually leads us to tip number 3. Talk to yourself.
This one might sound a little crazy, but it works.
It's not crazy at all. When you're alone at home, practice speaking English out loud. Describe what you're doing. If you're cooking, say, okay, now I'm cutting the onions. Oh, this is making my eyes water.
I love this tip because there's no pressure. Nobody's listening, so you can make all the mistakes you want. You can experiment with new words and phrases.
Exactly. You can even have imaginary conversations. Practice ordering at a coffee shop, or asking for directions, or talking about your weekend.
I used to do this all the time. I would pretend I was explaining my job to someone or describing my hometown. It felt silly at first, but it really helped build my confidence.
And speaking of practice techniques, tip number 4 is one of my favorites. Shadow native speakers.
Ooh, yes. Shadowing is so effective. Alex, can you explain what shadowing is for our listeners?
Sure. Shadowing means listening to native English speakers and repeating what they say immediately after they say it. You can do this with podcasts, YouTube videos, TV shows, anything.
The key is to try to match their pronunciation, their rhythm, and even their intonation. You're basically copying them like a shadow.
Right. So you play a sentence, pause it, and repeat it out loud. Try to sound exactly like the speaker. This helps you learn the natural flow of English.
And you know what's great about this? You can start with really simple content. Children's shows are actually perfect for this because they speak clearly and use simple vocabulary.
No shame in that. Whatever helps you learn. Now, tip number 5 is something that I think holds a lot of people back. Focus on fluency over perfection.
This is so important, Alex. So many learners are afraid to speak because they're worried about making mistakes.
I see this all the time. People know a lot of English, but they won't speak because they want every sentence to be grammatically perfect.
But here's the truth. Native speakers make mistakes too. And when you're having a conversation, communication is more important than perfection.
Exactly. It's better to speak with some mistakes than to not speak at all. You know what I tell my students?
What?
Mistakes are proof that you're trying. Every mistake is a learning opportunity.
I love that. And honestly, most people are just happy that you're making the effort to speak their language. They're not counting your grammar mistakes.
So true. All right, tip number 6. Learn phrases, not just individual words.
This one changed everything for me when I was learning Spanish.
Yeah? Tell us more.
Well, I used to memorize lists of vocabulary words, just single words. But then I realized that's not how people actually talk. We use chunks of language, phrases that go together.
Right, like, how's it going is better to learn as one phrase, not as 3 separate words.
Exactly. Or I'm looking forward to, or it depends on. These are ready-made chunks that you can just pull out and use in conversation.
And it makes you sound more natural, too. When you use these common phrases, you sound more like a native speaker.
So our listeners should collect phrases, not just words. Write them down, practice them, and use them.
Great advice. Now, tip number 7. Find a language partner.
Ah, yes, this is crucial because at some point you need to practice with a real person.
You can't get fluent just by talking to yourself. You need real conversations with real people.
So where can people find language partners?
There are so many options now. There are language exchange apps where you can find someone who wants to learn your language. You help them, they help you.
That's a great option because it's free and you both benefit. There are also online tutoring platforms where you can find affordable conversation partners.
The important thing is to find someone who is patient and encouraging. You want someone who will let you make mistakes and help you improve.
Right, not someone who interrupts you every 2 seconds to correct you. That would just make you nervous.
Exactly. A good language partner will let you finish your thoughts and then gently offer corrections or suggestions.
Okay, so tip number 8, record yourself speaking.
Oh, this one is powerful, but a lot of people resist it.
I know, right? Most people hate hearing their own voice.
But it's such a useful tool. When you record yourself and listen back, you can hear your own mistakes. You notice things that you don't notice while you're speaking.
Like maybe you're speaking too fast, or you're not pronouncing certain sounds correctly, or you're using the same filler words over and over.
Right, like or or like. We all have these habits, and recording yourself helps you become aware of them.
So here's what I recommend. Record yourself talking about your day for 2 or 3 minutes. Then listen to it and take notes. What did you do well? What can you improve?
And do this regularly, maybe once a week. Over time, you'll be able to hear your own progress, which is really motivating.
Absolutely. Now, tip number 9, speak slowly and clearly.
Yes, so many learners think they need to speak fast to sound fluent.
But that's not true at all. Native speakers actually appreciate it when you speak slowly and clearly because it's easier to understand you.
Right. It's better to speak slowly and be understood than to speak fast and confuse everyone.
And you know what? When you speak slowly, you give yourself time to think. You can choose your words more carefully and make fewer mistakes.
Exactly. Speed will come naturally as you get more comfortable. Don't rush it.
Great advice. And finally, tip number 10, use the language daily.
This is the golden rule, Emma. Consistency is everything.
It really is. You don't need to study for 3 hours once a week. It's much better to practice for 15 minutes every single day.
Because language learning is like exercise. If you go to the gym once a month, you won't see results. But if you go for 30 minutes every day, you'll get stronger.
Perfect analogy. So even if you're really busy, find small ways to use English every day.
Right. Listen to a podcast while you're commuting. Think in English while you're cooking dinner. Send a text message to your language partner. Watch one YouTube video in English.
The key is to make it a habit, part of your daily routine.
And you know what's great? After a few weeks, it won't feel like work anymore. It'll just feel natural.
So true. Okay, Alex, should we recap our 10 tips?
Let's do it. So, tip 1, understand that the listening-speaking gap is normal.
Tip 2, stop translating in your head.
Tip 3, talk to yourself.
Tip 4, shadow native speakers.
Tip 5, focus on fluency over perfection.
Tip 6, learn phrases, not just words.
Tip 7, find a language partner.
Tip 8, record yourself speaking.
Tip 9, speak slowly and clearly.
And tip 10, use the language daily.
Perfect. So, Emma, if you could give our listeners just one final piece of advice, what would it be?
I would say be patient with yourself. Learning to speak a language takes time. You will make mistakes, you will have bad days, but every single practice session makes you better.
I love that. And I would add, don't wait until you feel ready. You'll never feel completely ready. Start speaking now, even if it's uncomfortable. That discomfort means you're growing.
That's beautiful, Alex. Okay, everyone, we hope these tips help you unlock your English voice.
Remember, you already understand so much English. Now it's time to let it out. Start speaking, start practicing, and be proud of yourself for trying.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends who are learning English and send us your questions or topic suggestions.
Thanks for listening to the Fluent English Podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Emma. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.